YouTube, we're talking college sports in the Deep South, where college football is king, and on the plains of Auburn, the battle cry is War Eagle. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast, talking a little Auburn football as Auburn approaches week 3 of the college football season, ranked number 8 in the country. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. War Eagle. Auburn opens up this particular week, third week of the season, as the number 8 ranked team in the country. Will be taking on the Kent State Flashes out of Ohio for the first time ever, actually. This was thought to have been a homecoming of sorts of Woody Barrett, the former 4-star recruit that was thought that he was going to make for some challenges at the quarterback position, possibly winning the role, but it didn't necessarily pans out. He transfers up to Kent State, was a starter all last season, got off to a very, very shaky start, a very Jeremy Johnson-ish type start against Arizona State, where he was making errant plays, fumbled the ball. As he was throwing the ball slips out of his hands, very similar to what Jeremy Johnson did against LSU. It's a good possibility and a very strong likelihood that Woody Barrett won't be the starting quarterback against Auburn and may not play in that particular football game. Kent State recently made the change to Dustin Crum, the quarterback now in the Kennesaw State game. We all know most of us know that Kennesaw State is a team representing the FCS conference located in the Marietta area of Atlanta, Georgia. Kent State going on to win that game in overtime, very unimpressively, but at the same time, it's got to be pretty abysmal if you have a former 4-star quarterback in Woody Barrett that they had to make that change to actually have some success moving forward. We're not going to talk a lot about Kent State because, they just don't have, from what I can see, not a very talented football team, just not getting off to a good start, going over to Arizona State out in the desert, losing that particular game to Arizona State. And mind you, this will be the second time for Kent State to be facing a true freshman quarterback. Arizona State is one of those teams that, few teams that are just like Auburn are relying on a true freshman to help lead the charge. Of course, Auburn with Bo Nix. Bo Nix garnished just about every high school accolade. A 5-star recruit out of Pinson Valley High School, has gotten off to a relatively inconsistent start, but considering all the variables involved, you can see why that is so. Now, there were a couple of opportunities that Bo Nix had, especially in the Tulane game, where you had some receivers open, overthrew the football, and those are things that can possibly be corrected, obviously, with coaching, film study, just better ball placement. That comes with experience. Likewise, for the Arizona State Sun Devils, they start a true freshman quarterback as well in Jaden Daniels, and he got off to a very impressive start against the Kent State Golden Flashes, where he was 15 of 24 for 284 yards and 2 touchdowns. Arizona State, by the way, playing that game at home, have won 21 straight home openers. A very good opportunity for the Auburn Tigers to start to shore up some physicality up front on offense, start to get some type of continuity, some type of stability at the offensive line, because they have struggled a little bit here for the first couple of weeks. Also, it would be a good time to also implement an additional running back, because Auburn has relied very heavily on Boobie Whitlow. Now, a lot of people will say, well, he's You don't want to run the guy in the ground, and Gus Malzahn is going to run the guy until he can't. But, I mean, in the last couple of games, Boobie Whitlow has only averaged about 23 attempts per game. And that's not a load to carry when you talk about running backs in the past who had 30-plus carries per game. So the load is not the issue. Boobie Whitlow has to do a different job of protecting the football as well. So we're going to see if, Gus Malzahn goes with a multiple, running back somewhat by committee approach here against Kent State. Go ahead and put Kent State away and get ready for the Texas A&M game. Now, Auburn opens up this particular football game as overwhelming favorites. They're expected to win this game by 34.5 points, and rightfully so. Kent State just, at the moment, and really historically, they don't recruit very well, and for obvious reasons. You got Ohio State. They're like literally in the middle of Big Ten country, and it's just really hard to get those particular recruits out that way. So, as we continue to look at this, I want to be, respectful, I guess you could say, and but really this week should not be a huge event for Auburn. Auburn has a very good football team. Auburn has the opportunity, has way more aspirations, I would think, than to hang around and struggle with a team like Kent State. If Auburn struggles to a high degree against Kent State, I think that really spells somewhat trouble for Auburn. And, it's just, it would be very, 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 very inexplicable if Auburn has a great degree of struggle against a very, very struggling Kent State football team. I would be perplexed, honestly. But either way, definitely some opportunities for Auburn's offense to really get going against a Kent State team who for right now is struggling on a high level. It's just not looking good for the Kent State Golden Flashes. Coming into Jordan-Hare Stadium, Auburn will be one of the more talented teams that they will play all year. Struggling with the FCS Kennesaw State having to push that game into overtime. Woody Barrett, thought to be the starting quarterback, but just is not progressing on any level. He probably will not play against Auburn. Once again, it's Kennard Vernon Stewart here for the podcast. Auburn, a 34.5-point favorite over Kent State this coming weekend as Auburn continues to get prepared for the stretch between Texas A&M and LSU towards what will hopefully be a successful season for the Tigers. Go ahead and like this video, comment, and subscribe to the channel. And as always, it's great to be an Auburn Tiger, War Eagle.